waves rolling in as always in Southern California at Huntington Beach. And you know what? The Yankee fans are rolling into the ballpark. It's about time for baseball. Tonight, it's the Yankees against the Angels from Anaheim, California, in the middle game of a 3-game set here on Pix 11. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside Al Leiter. Happy to be with you on this Saturday evening here on Pix 11. The Yankees coming off an emphatic win in the first game of this series, a 7-0 victory. There was a lot of offense. Everybody got involved, but once again, Al, right in the middle of the order now, it's Gary Sanchez getting it done.
And how exciting is that for the Yankees and Yankee fans to watch one of their young, and this guy, they knew it from day one when they signed him for a big contract out of the Dominican Republic. I'll tell you what, Ryan, he's looked fantastic. Anytime you say this, 10 extra base hits in his first 16 games. Only Joe DiMaggio had done that. This guy's been awesome, both sides of the baseball. 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. Very impressive, Gary Sanchez.
He is having a tremendous August. 3 more hits last night. In this month, hitting .420. The 5 homers Al mentioned, the 11 ribbies, 5 doubles. He has an extra base hit in 8 of 13 games. Well, plenty of stars on hand tonight in California. Mike Trout and Albert Pujols representing for the Angels. How about Judge and Sanchez for the Yankees? First pitch, lineups, baseball. It's all coming up next.
Leading off for the Yankees, left fielder, number 11, Brandon Gardner. Center fielder, number 22, Jacoby Ellsberg.
He's logged a lot of innings. He was their guy. I mean, you know, it was only only a couple years ago. What, it was 2014, they were division winners. This is a team that's won a lot in the sense of, you know, certainly playoff opportunities. Back to the big one, 02, when they won the World Championship against the Giants. But division winners are 4 or 5 or 7 or 8, 9. Not right now. This is clearly a rebuild mode for this organization.
Ellsbury grounds that to first. Crone has it for the second out.
I don't know, Freddie. Let me back up on that. Not rebuild, but retool.
Yeah.
You know, I think the 2 wild cards has really intrigued a lot of clubs in thinking, how do we get enough to be in it, quote unquote.
Well, the Angels also have the difficult task of evaluating what they are in a year where their entire rotation went down to injury. As Gary Sanchez steps in, you see how impressive the numbers are. It is 14 games, a .389 batting average, 3 more hits last night, including a couple of doubles, at his first stolen base, and looks at strike one. Al mentioned it off the top of the program. Gary Sanchez just the second Yankee with 10 extra base hits in his first 16 career games. Joe DiMaggio, the other.
How about that? But I had to include that. I was like, wait a minute, Joe D and Gary Sanchez. I mean, a heck of a start of the season. Listen, the Yankees knew what they were. He got what was his signing bonus?
$3 million at 16 years old.
So they knew, along with every other Major League team, that scouts international players. Now, as a Dominican, they're not eligible in the draft, as we know, other than Puerto Rico, right? Canada and U.S. So that kind of signing bonus. No, the reports certainly that he could hit. I'm watching him, you know, behind the plate. I mean, 60%.
Looks comfortable, right?
No, he looks great. He's got a gun of an arm. I know it's an experience factor.
That breaking ball floats high, 2-2.
That's what you'll see. You know, when you get a guy that gets called up, you know, if you miss and you're behind, you'll see big league pitchers, you know, maybe get too much of the plate. You start doing what Gary Sanchez, you're going to see these big league pitchers focusing a little bit more.
Sanchez lifts that in the air to left and deep.
Wow.
That ball is gone. The dream start continues for this baby bomber as Gary Sanchez deposits his 6th home run into left.
Oh. I mean, really open up what he's done. He's fooled right here. And when I said careful, of course, every big leaguer, every pitcher's going to, you know, make their pitches. But watch here, Ricky Nolasco. Again, 2-2 count. Yes, he throws a lot of off speed. This is a mistake-breaking ball, middle of the plate, but he's out front. Look at that's a one-arm, one-handed swing. Watch this. Fooled slightly, but because it was up, that is a strong young man. Easily out. What is that, 347 down the left field line here?
Gregorius hammers that to right. I mean, Al, what Sanchez is doing right now is unbelievable. Take another look at that home run from Sanchez.
This is a young man that when you get success early at the big league level, there's always that, oh, I have to do more. Oh, wait a minute, these guys they're all great. No, you keep doing what you're doing, and the confidence that's being built by this young man, leading off now here, and he had a heck of a day, 3 for 4 last night, and a couple doubles.
I was talking with Marcus Timms, assistant hitting coach, before the game about Sanchez, and he's worked with Sanchez high A, double A, triple A, and now in the majors every single year in the minors. And he said he's learned he's strong enough. He doesn't have to try and manufacture more power as Castro grounds that hard and fair past the dive of Marte. Down the left field line, into third goes Gregorius, and Castro into second with a double.
Well, good start for the Yankees, certainly. 22nd double on the year for Starlin Castro. What a great start the first season with the New York Yankees. Again, a hanging breaking ball up out over the plate. Hot smash by Jeffrey Marte. Good effort.
And a trip to the mound now as Nolasco has given up 3 straight rockets and faces second and third. But what Timms was saying, he said a couple years ago they were playing a game at Richmond in 2014, facing a guy throwing 98 miles an hour, and he said Gary Sanchez barely lifted his left foot, didn't even lift it completely off the ground, hit a 450-foot home run. And that's when he went to him and said, look, you don't need to be high leg kicking, doing too much. You have all the power within you. And we have seen that power thus far as McCann takes ball 1.
Dan joined the party last night. 16th home run, solo home run, and the Yankees win.
The 1-0. Now, Meredith, I know you talked with Gary Sanchez today.
Well, Joe Girardi complimented his ability to make adjustments within at-bats. He doesn't have to wait to get back to the dugout. He's a guy that can really adjust on the fly, and I asked Sanchez about that, and he said it's all about the routine coming in. It's the preparation and the game plan before the game. I know what a pitcher is going to do, what they're going to try to do to me throughout the at-bat, and I know what I want to look for. And he said without that preparation, he didn't think he'd be able to make those adjustments or have the success that he's been having so far.
And it's interesting too, because Joe Girardi, talking about those adjustments, uses the word instinct, talking about what Gary Sanchez is able to do. That there is something inherent. Sanchez clearly putting in the work. Here's the 2-1 to McCann. That breaking ball is outside. It's 3-1.
I mean, to hear Meredith, to hear you say that, what Joe Girardi said, we're talking about a 23-year-old young player,
right?
And to have that instinct, as Joe described, pretty impressive.
It really is. And also, he likes the fact that not only does he have power, he has power to all fields. And when you have a guy like that, that's a guy that can also hit for average. So they have a lot of hope that Gary Sanchez is maybe not going to continue at this rate, but he's going to have success in the big leagues. And Ryan, just to piggyback on what you were saying with Marcus Timms, he is a guy that has been with him for a long time. And when he struggled early in spring training, Timms told him when he came back the next time, you're going to get at bats. You don't have to do too much. You have the skill. You've hit at every level. There's no reason why it won't translate to the big leagues.
So far, it certainly has. Sanchez with his 6th home run to give the Yankees a 1-0 lead here in the first. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, and Nolasco trying to work out of trouble. Here's the payoff to McCann. Tips it to stay alive. Will remain full.
So I'm trying to add my gazintas when you said at this pace. For Gary Sanchez, I'm trying to add it up. What, 16 games, 17 games? He's got 6 home runs now. What did that mean, 60 home runs?
We got to break out the calculator for that, Al. I'm not sure.
It's a heck of a start. We know that. And that's also part of the adjustments and to watch not only young players and what the Yankees are showing now, and Tyler Austin, Aaron Judge, and we're talking about Gary Sanchez, but how players make the adjustments within the game, within the week, with what pitchers are trying to do. The scouting report gets a little bit more closely watched.
That's grounded hard and through into right field. It'll score 1. Here comes Castro. The throw home. Not in time. Nifty slide from Castro. McCann advances to second. It's a 2-run single for Brian McCann, and the Yankees have a 3-0 first inning lead.
Nice at bat by Brian McCann. Fought off some off-speed pitches, fouled off the 3-2 pitch, and again, another off-speed pitch. Let me take a, looks like some kind of changeup going down and away. Not the huge shift that you see often in baseball, a slight shift on the right side, but able to hit it hard enough past Gregorio Petit and C.J. Cron. Joey Espada waving hard. Starlin Castro, this early lead for the Yankees.
And a runner in scoring position now for Judge with 2 outs. Check swing, strike 1. Got to feel good for Brian McCann, too. Such a well-liked guy, Al, and he's had to deal with losing his spot as the everyday catcher, but coming through last night with a home run and a 2-run single here in the first as the DH.
Yeah, you got to keep playing, and you're right. You nailed it. Great guy.
Judge able to hold up there.
The .231 batting average coming into tonight's game. He's better than that. And it's a consistency of having to put it up. Certainly the power I think would be there because especially of being left-handed, Yankee Stadium.
And as well liked a guy as you will find from players and media alike.
Oh, absolutely.
The 1-1. Sky high pop up to center. Trout. Take a look at the Angels starting lineup. It's brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Cole Calhoun leading off. Mike Trout having another tremendous season and good career numbers against the Yankees. Albert Pujols has 95 ribbies in the 3 spot. Jeffrey Marte bats cleanup. Andrelton Simmons, he's hit well since late June. C.J. Cron off the DL bats 6. Jet Bandy 7. Nick Buss, 8th, and former Yankee Gregorio Petit hits 9th.
And the 24-year-old young right-hander, his first big league start. Yes, he's been up with the Yankees, 8 games, 18 innings, the 5 ERA, but this will be his first start as a major leaguer. There you see his numbers, as I just said, all from the pen. Let's take a look at the pitcher's scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. I'll tell you what, right now, this Luis Cessa, he's a fastball, slider, curve, changeup. There you see his ratio. We'll use all of his pitches. He will top out occasionally 96 miles an hour plus fastball. Converted infielder.
Yeah.
How about this, Ryan? So he was in the Yoenis Cespedes trade, right? Michael Fulmer and Cessa, they go to the Tigers. But while coming up through the Mets organization, he was an infielder and said, you can't hit. Let's see if you can pitch. And here he is, first big league start. And stop the shuttle. I mean, I know that the Yankees do this and they take advantage of guys that, that have options. You can send back and forth as relievers, but maybe this will give him a chance here with September 1 to solidify his spot.
Well, there's a spot up for grabs right now, as well as perhaps next year when you think about Nathan Eovaldi's injury and the fact that he won't be a part of the rotation next year. It's a real opportunity for Luis Cessa.
Yeah, so you put Cessa in there, right? We're going to get a chance to see Green.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
Yep. Coming off an excellent start against the Blue Jays.
And I got to believe Severino, of course, is going to be in the mix. I know it hasn't been what the Yankees had thought of Luis Severino. People, you look at his stuff and you say rookie of the year kind of guy.
He started at AAA last night, had 10 strikeouts, gave up 3 runs, I believe. 10 hits as well, and I think 5 2/3.
Yeah, that's
trying to work on his changeup down there and consistent depth to the slider.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, Luis Cessa, he's a guy, or Luis Severino, 95, 98 miles an hour, so plus velocity, but you got to be able to, at this level, throw your secondary pitches for strikes. Quality strikes, too, because Severino didn't walk guys. You could put the ball over the plate. There's a difference between command and control. We hear it often, we say command. Well, what is command? Command is being able to make a quality pitch with it. Control is to be able to throw strikes.
Yeah.
There's a difference. What are you smirking about? If I call you Michael, don't get upset.
No, I'm laughing as that one's grounded, backhanded by Castro. The throw to first in time. Well, Michael warned me you were going to punch my arm about 50 times an inning.
Stop, that's
you're
not
on
true.
Your way. You're on your way. Let's take a look at this Yankees defense. It's brought to you by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. In the outfield, Gardner back in left, Ellsbury in center, Aaron Judge in right. Ronald Torreyes getting his second straight start after a 4-hit game last night. Didi Gregorius, Castro, Tyler Austin at first with Gary Sanchez, who's already homered tonight, catching Luis Cessa. We saw Cessa get the fastball up to 97 in that at-bat. Here he'll deal to Mike Trout. And a breaking ball strike to begin things against Trout. Trout came up in the only hairy situation of the game last night. Bases loaded in the 8th inning. Was ahead in the count 3-1, and then Adam Warren battled back to strike him out. As that 97-mile-an-hour heater perfectly placed in the outside corner, it's 0-2.
Dotted the outside corner with a little two-seam run hitting the corner.
Now up and in with 96.
So where are you going next?
Breaking ball down and away.
Up and in, down and away. Let's see if it's textbook here.
Cessa. There it is. Down and away. Strike 3 as Trout swings through it.
Wow, just carved up and a great player. And Mike Trout, first pitch slider, and then painted the fastball away, 0-2. Upstairs, and then that slider there. You see Trout's reaction. A little too much to the plate, but I think that 96 up near his face set that pitch up.
So Trout retired, and here comes Albert Pujols. Pujols now 15 seasons of at least 95 RBIs. The only other player in baseball history who's done that, Hank Aaron.
When I saw that, it's so odd to see and hear about Pujols periodically, and you think that he's just kind of, here he is in Southern Cal, no more St. Louis, and he's doing okay. The guy's still putting up monster numbers.
Driving in runs as he takes inside. How about the rhythm and pace that Luis Cessa is working with right now? I mean, he is getting it, going it. As we see tonight's Power Report furnished by Bob's. Everything's better with a Bob-O-Pedic. Find out why at mybobs.com. 582 career home runs. One behind his former teammate and coach, Mark McGwire.
Amazing career. Slam dunk first ballot Hall of Famer right there.
Here's the 3-1 from Cessa. Chopped weakly to third. Easy for Torreyes, and a 1-2-3 first for Luis Cessa, and he looked impressive doing it. The keys to the game, they're brought to you by Hyundai. Not just new, better.
Well, how about that? Cessa quality. Yes, you need good starting pitcher. A great first inning by Cessa. Don't let Trout beat you. Punched him out. And timely hitting. All those runs in the first inning were with 2 outs.
I'd say you kind of nailed that scouting report, Al.
Listen, you get good starting pitching, and you don't let the big guy, whoever it is on the opposing team, do damage, and you get timely hitting, yeah. There's one more thing I could add it and close it out, whoever closes it. Good relief.
Dellin Betances has had a few days off. He'll be ready.
Ready to throw 100.
Yankees with a 3-0 lead after those 3 2-out runs in the first. Tyler Austin getting another start at first base, his 3rd straight day there. A 3rd straight game there. He was putting on a show in batting practice here. Venturing up into the rocks in center field. There's the 1-1. Now on the outside corner, 1-2.
You know, watching Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge, I was down, you know, watching batting practice and just seeing the genuine friendship of young players when they come up together and wet behind the ears and not really sure, and, you know, just good friends, teammates, more than just teammates, but guys that hang and enjoy talking baseball. It's fun watching from afar Tyler Austin and Aaron Judge in the same hitting group.
Austin down on strikes there. And that'll bring up Ronald Torreyes. A 4-hit game last night.
Throwing the bomb.
I mean, first career home run, and it was no cheapie. And Torreyes had been 4 for 31 with no ribbies, 1 extra base hit in the previous 21 games before that. Simmons, high throw, pulls off the bag Crone, and Torreyes is safe at first.
We thought, until Joe West just gave the save. Wow, unlike Relton Simmons, this guy is pure gold. He was excellent with the Braves, comes over. I know he had some injuries. Just kind of a casual flick throw. C.J. Crone not able to handle. See, kind of one step, just a little nonchalant from me. Step and throw. Get the ball, crow hop, step and throw. That could have been a disaster. See Torreyes pulling up.
And you could see the reaction from the dugout. And Mark Teixeira specifically cringing at that potential collision. He knows what that's like over there. You get a first baseman reaching out as well.
Yeah, break your wrist. Cliff Floyd with
Brian Roberts.
Yeah, that's right.
So a runner on with one out for Gardner. Check swing, tapper back to the pitcher. His first at bat this time. Robbed at second. Can't turn it, but a nice play by Gregorio Petit to cut down the lead runner.
Wow, nice play. Second base umpire did a nice little tightrope there. Kerwin Danley. Watch there between his legs. Gregorio Petit just to get that ball. That ball was a hard, well-hit grounder. Knocks it down and from the ground. Quick little flip. Simmons, no. Gardner a little too fast.
You know, Kerwin Danley did play at San Diego State with Tony Gwynn.
Did he really?
He's got some athlete in him over there.
He did play San Diego State.
That's right.
Looks like Butch Husky. Remember him?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Mets and the Twins.
Yep. Gardner a
teammate
little
of mine.
awkward there. Yeah, I was going to say. Played with him with the Mets.
Yes. And they got traded to Minnesota, I think in the Marcus Lawton trade.
Ellsbury takes a nice cut, fouls it straight back. Now, Al mentioned the struggles for Nolasco in the American League compared to the National League. When he was with the Marlins, you know, a respectable enough 4.35 ERA throughout his years in the NL. But since he's come to the AL, a 5.43 ERA over the last 3 seasons. And that is higher than any other qualifying pitcher.
Yeah, I saw that. What a disparity. Listen, there's no question it's harder to pitch in the American League because you can't dance around 7, 8, 9 to get to the pitcher. It's obvious, I know, but when you look at those numbers, such a stark contrast. Got a 4-year deal with the Twins, $49 million. He'd be signed through next year. The Angels will have him.
And when he signed with Minnesota, that was the biggest contract they had ever given to a player outside of their organization. 4 years, $49 million. And then banged up. Didn't live up to the hype. And now finds himself with the Angels. 1-2.
I said, I'm out of the organization. I'm thinking Joe Mauer as you're saying it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a heck of a contract that he got. And
You're like, wait a second. I know Mauer got more than $49 million. Yeah, for any player who was not already in tow.
Yes.
Gary Sanchez looms on deck. The 1-2. Breaking ball down, 2-2.
Good take right there from Jacoby. That's where looking at Nolasco, we're talking about, you know, his numbers, but at 89, 90, you know, it's definitely below speed limit at the major league level, but you still have to throw up your fastball, Ryan. I don't care 89, 90. You know, we're looking over with the Mets, Bartolo Colon. That's all he throws and gets it done. Trust that 89, 90 is enough, because then that makes your breaking stuff a little crisper, a little less predictable.
The 2-2. Looped in the air to left. It'll be grabbed by Buss to end the inning. So Nolasco strands a runner. We head to the bottom of the second. The New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by the new movie Hands of Stone, the story of Roberto Duran, starring Edgar Ramirez, Robert De Niro, and Usher. Take a look. Bottom of the second inning, Luis Cessa with a 1-2-3 first. Yankees a 3-0 lead. Gary Sanchez a homer, a 2-run single from Brian McCann. As that ball is lifted in the air to left. Gardner for the first out.
Tough sky. These high pop-ups you saw last inning. Trout had to track one from Aaron Judge 2 innings ago. We got the twilight sky here, folks. Beautiful day.
As per usual in Southern California. Just gorgeous.
Earlier, I got a chance to catch up with Mark Langston, who does the radio for the Angels. I said, it's a little more humid out here. He's looking at me like, are you crazy?
They get really spoiled, you know? Like, oh, where's that cool breeze? It's 76 instead of 74.
It's beautiful.
And strike one. Cessa looking very comfortable thus far. Working quickly. Simmons trying to slow him down there. Just missed off the outside corner. See, Luis Cessa becomes the 4th Yankee starter who is Mexico-born. Was signed as an infielder with the Mets, part of the Yoenis Cespedes trade. Michael Fulmer was the other pitcher dealt to the Tigers, and then the Yankees getting Cessa and Chad Green in the Justin Wilson deal. And now they're both in the rotation. Right back to Cessa. 2 out. Now, you may be wondering, Al, well, who are the other Yankee starters who were Mexican-born?
Yes.
Esteban Loaiza, Alfredo Aceves, and then Alfonso Pulido.
Alfonso Pulido. I played with Alfonso. It was back in, I guess, the late 80s, early 90s. Well, getting ahead early on. And you mentioned it, Ryan. Cessa looks comfortable. I know it's only into the second inning, but pounding the zone with his fastball. As his first one, he missed big. Pounded in to Pujols. He stood up both Trout and Pujols. Good slider curveball combo.
Yankees love his arm.
It's got a smooth takeaway on the backside. That's I always look for that, mostly for longevity in a pitcher. On his meaning his takeaway. Watch his arm action on the backside. It's clean, down, up, and out.
A 1-2, fouled away.
And that's, I mean, that. Of course, there's effort, but that's not like a herky-jerky 95, 96. So that's nice that you see a pitcher, because I see that as a repeatable delivery. You can be consistent.
Well, now that's something that different people around the Yankees organization have talked about loving in regard to Luis Cessa, because he's a converted infielder, and that's sort of rare for somebody who wasn't always pitching to have that smooth delivery.
Yeah, as you say that, I think of Jacob deGrom. You know, he was an infielder at Stetson University, deGrom was, and now I guess the ace, he and Syndergaard with the Mets. Yeah, I think it's a unique, interesting perspective for a guy who was a hitter, even at the professional level, as Cessa, and now here he is pitching. I think there's a much better feel. You know, they stood in the box. They know what it looks like and what's difficult as far as repertoire and how pitchers go at you.
Tonight's high-speed pitch comes from Fios. Visit getfios.com. 98 miles an hour on that last one from Luis Cessa. You can see Gary Sanchez saying, calm down. Strike 3, got him looking with the breaking ball. 6 up, 6 down for Cessa, who has looked very strong thus far in his major league debut. This guy has looked very strong in every one of his major league games. He's already homered tonight, and he leads off. Next. Leading off the top of the third, hit a solo home run in the first. He's batting a clean 400.
It's kind of Ted Williams-ish. Tony Gwynn.
It's a nice round number out.
Oh, how about Rod Carew? Didn't he flirt?
Yeah, sure.
Old, California Angel, when they were the California Angels.
They've gone from California to Anaheim to Los Angeles of Anaheim. First pitch to Sanchez. Breaking ball strike, a little sharper bite on that one, 0-1. Every day, new stats of first and elite company for Gary Sanchez. And one of the other things Marcus Timms told me about in regard to Sanchez, Al, he said, sort of what Meredith was talking about in that instinct Joe Girardi commented on that Sanchez has for making adjustments. Tim said it's a talent thing, it's an innate thing, and it reminded him a little of Miguel Cabrera, who he played with in Detroit. He said Miguel Cabrera was like that, where he could just make those adjustments on the fly no matter what a pitcher was trying to do. And Sanchez's ability to do that kind of reminds him of Cabrera.
Well, I mean, what Marcus Timms is describing is just a really good hitter.
Yeah.
A guy that gets what his strengths and weaknesses are, play along with the cat and mouse of what pitchers are trying to do. Because early on, pitchers will establish there's something out in right field, a ball or something right now. Establish what a pitcher and staff's going to do to you, because the scouting report is for the series, and make the adjustment. Some guys do it quicker than others.
The 1-2 off the outside corner, 2-2. You know, Sanchez has also hit well with 2 strikes thus far in his big league career, and even 300. Wow. And that just missed.
Yes, I want it. I wanted a ball.
You especially want it against one of the hottest hitters in baseball. Swing and a miss got Sanchez lunging at a breaking ball for the first out.
Yeah, that was a big curveball. The first one that he threw him in the at-bat to start the count. Now watch here after that paint fastball just off the plate. That's a good one. Curveball break, bigger break, slightly slower out in front, unlike the home run that he hit in his first at-bat. That ball was down the way. Good pitch.
Here's Didi Gregorius. Smoked a single to right his first at bat. This time pops it up. Left side. Foul ground. It drops. Jeffrey Marte, who has not played much third base this year.
Wow, that's a tough play going out for Jeffrey Marte. I'm not exactly sure where Nick Buss was, a left fielder, as that ball just continued to go out toward left field. That's a long way. I don't know. Again, this sky, the twilight sky, if you don't pick it up right off the bat, you see Nick Buss, the young left fielder for the Angels, just checking up, hoping that Marte make the play. Starting to get a little darker.
Gregorius rolls that foul. Now, Yunel Escobar is the normal third baseman for the Angels, but last night against Masahiro Tanaka, he bunted a ball off of his face. You'll see it here.
Nasty.
Immediately left the game mid at bat and is not in the lineup tonight. And Mike Scioscia said the DL is a possibility.
I mean, there was no hesitation last night.
And he has been placed on the DL.
He has.
And Escobar was red hot. He had 8 hits and 9 at-bats going into last night's game. It's an Angels offense that's been scuffling of late. Gets back C.J. Cron, but loses Yunel Escobar. Big breaking ball, and Gregorius is down on strikes.
Both the curveball, slider, I said in the scouting report, that's what you'll see from Nolasco. Threw his best fastball of the game so far, 93 earlier in this inning. That's the big curveball at 73, so he's taken even more off from a 91, 92 to 73 miles an hour. Tough to stay back Good pitch from Nolasco.
Starlin Castro had a 2-out double in the first. Down the third baseline. Came around to score on Brian McCann's 2-run single. It was actually a very nifty slide by Castro to score that third run. It was a good, strong throw from Cole Calhoun on the money to Jet Bandy, but Castro was able to slide his way in.
Just talking about the struggles of the Angels, you mentioned of late. Actually, it's been awful. They've lost 13 of their last 15 games. They're pitching and hitting last in the American League in the month of August.
Simmons ends the inning. Nice bounce back frame in the second and the third now for Nolasco. Start your weekday. Join Suki, Scott, and the Pix 11 News team with breaking news, traffic, and sports. Linda Church's weather reports keep you in the know mornings from 6 to 9 on the Pix 11 Morning News, bringing you the heart of the story. Bottom of the third inning in Luis Cessa's first major league start, and he deals that one inside to Jet Bandy. Yankees a 3-0 lead, and Cessa has looked sharp. Has retired the first 6 batters he's faced, including a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, it's looking good. Getting ahead. Heck, we saw 98 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss.
Little slider.
Cessa, Al, he is ready to go. I mean, he gets the ball. He's not leaving the rubber. The 1-1.
So a couple things, and I have to credit our coworker David Cohn. Who doesn't like a pitcher? Now this is an obvious statement, but as you just described, Brian, you got a pitcher on the mound. He's ready to go. The umpire likes it. Your defenders like it. The hitter sense you're coming at him. This is an aggressive. This is what I have. I'm getting on the mound. Here I come. You might get me. You might hit it. But here it is. And that puts hitters on the defensive. You'll see as it goes along, if he continues to pitch well, the guys will start stepping out, trying to mess with his rhythm and timing.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, third strikeout for Cessa.
See, now that pitch there, I hope Cessa can identify, even though he's got a punch out and Bandy's walking back to the dugout. That's a middle of the plate hanger. Somewhere in your mind. Now, do you get away with it? Of course. Do you get away with 2-0 fastballs that guys pop up? But that location with 2 strikes isn't good. And I'm not sure of what he's thinking there, but you don't want to live there. That's what I'm talking about, command and control. Now, it's impressive, and I'm not saying that every pitch you throw, you're going to hit the glove and corners and keep the ball down. That's a nice get in the count curveball. So we're looking at 80 mile an hour off speed with bigger depth and that tighter slider that he struck out Bandy. Just little things like that, Ryan, where you can identify missed location. And then he's busted 96 on his hands.
You know, when he threw in spring training in that Yankees clubhouse, from a lot of the veterans, they were incredibly impressed with his arm. Coming back into the clubhouse talking about, who is this kid?
Well, he made the team at a spring. I mean, that's no joke. You know, the New York Yankees, a young player, and a team that has all-stars just about at every position, and you've earned your way.
Out of the pen was just throwing fastball, curveball, but now
there was a changeup the last pitch.
Adding in the changeup, right. And he said, you will see that now that I'm starting. It was actually on the advice of Andrew Miller that Cessa eliminated it out of the pen. Miller saw him throwing and said, hey, out of here, choose your 2 best pitches, go with that. And his numbers at Scranton, excellent.
Good strikeout to walk ratio. Pounds his own.
The 2-2. And Bus pesky up there.
Yeah, right. You mentioned it. That is the primarily the difference between whether a guy can start or relieve. And it's just as what you said, Andrew Miller gave the advice to Cessa. You can't be throwing your 3rd and 4th pitch. You come in for 10, 12, 14 pitches, you have to pound the zone and use your number 1 secondary. That's what you see out of relievers. There's a changeup. But as you say that, and now the comfort level, if you're a guy like Luis Cessa and you truly are fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. I said in the scout report, Ryan, 54% fastballs, 19% sliders, 16% curveballs, and 11% changeups. That's what he throws.
Fisted to second. Castro on the backhand. That's a nice play for the second out.
Nice play.
You know, in the offseason when the Yankees traded Justin Wilson, there were many who didn't understand why. But Luis Cessa and Chad Green are now in the Yankees rotation. Wilson has had his ERA jump by more than a full run this year. He's at about 4.6 in Detroit. Green's coming off a start in which he struck out 11 in 6 strong innings, shutout innings against Toronto. And Cessa, very impressive thus far, has retired the first 8 in his first big league start.
So your point is
that trade looks pretty good right now.
Right? No, I thought you were like, were there people wondering? I mean, you had the
these people, they're out there.
Yeah, but you have the 3. How many great closer arms did you need for the Yankees coming out of spring training?
Well, I think people thought, well, it's the lefty, but exactly, Al. You had Miller, you had Chapman already, who are both lefties. You also had Betances, obviously. And another strength of Joe Girardi throughout his tenure has been to find guys who can set up. So it did make sense, but the Yankees received a lot of criticism for that. First base runner of the game for the Angels as Petit lines that into center field.
I mean, first of all, I know nobody operates that way, making decisions as to what the fans think. But yeah, you get upset, or you're not sure who says that. At the time, who is a Chad Green?
And you know what? At the time, and Meredith Marakovitz reminds me, they didn't have Chapman yet, so that was more of the reaction to why trade Wilson. But right now, you have to feel great about that deal.
If one of these 2 guys emerge as a legitimate starter that could pitch front end, are you kidding? It's a no-brainer.
So now Cessa in the stretch for the first time in this game as the lineup turns over to Cole Calhoun. Nubs that towards the vacated hole. Gregorius dives to keep it in. No play at first. Gregorius may have held Petit from going to third. And 2 on now with 2 out.
Well, you see the shift up the middle. Didi's pretty much over second base. That's not beating the shift, folks. The metrics of where these guys hit, it's documented. They chart it. That was a number off the, looked like the end of the bat.
Yep.
There's no question about it. Cole Calhoun was not trying to do that. However, yeah, right off the tip of the end of the bat. This guy's a turn and burn, pull hitter's got pop. Beautiful shot right there. You see off the very end of the bat, cued it over toward shortstop.
Well, now this is an interesting spot for Cessa. In his 8 relief appearances, when the bases were empty, held opponents to a 178 batting average. With men on, 333. So out of the stretch against Mike Trout. Big swing and a foul back on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, as you're given those numbers, and it's like, oh, by the way, Babe Ruth or Mickey Mantle's up. The type of young career that Mike Trout's had.
Trout very much having another MVP caliber year, just not getting the attention with the struggles the Angels have had. Inside fastball, 1-1. Trout first in the American League in WAR, first in walks, second to Jose Altuve in on-base percentage, third in runs, third in OPS.
And 23 home runs and 77 RBIs.
Yeah.
Dropping the WAR on him. He's a heck of a center fielder.
Look at those ranks. The 1-1. Outside. Sanchez thought about firing down to second. Didn't have the clean handle.
So this is where you don't give in. You have 2 outs. I know you got Albert Pujols, who's still more than formidable. But in a 2-1 count, this isn't a give-in pitch. Still trying to make a quality pitch. Quality pitch is corner somewhere. You don't concede. Obviously, with the greatness of a guy like Mike Trout, it's got to be quality. There you go.
That was quality. Gregorius ends the inning as Cessa gets out of it. The rookie finally faces some trouble, able to escape against one of the game's best. Take a look at who's hot, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Brian McCann, in his career against Ricky Nolasco, 333, 8 home runs, his most against any pitcher. And he had a 2-run single with 2 outs in the first that extended the Yankees' lead to 3-0, which is where it sits here in the top of the 4th. McCann waves and misses. chopped to Cron. 1 out.
Right fielder, number 99, Aaron Judge.
And here is Aaron Judge. Judge from California. And even though he's a Northern Cal guy, said he has a lot of family and friends who are here for this series, taking in the action. Judge told me he doesn't think he's played in California since 2013. So an opportunity for his family to get to friends who haven't been able to trek to other areas of the country to get to see him in his home state.
So I'm thinking 13, so somewhere in what, college?
Right. Fresno State.
I know the Yankees don't have teams west of the Mississippi.
Nope. The 1-1 outside. There's some love in his home state. Debut August 13th. It's an interesting thing to add to that poster. The 2-1. Judge holds up 3-1. Judge's parents were in New York to watch him. Now here, and will head to Seattle as well. The 3-1. Big swing and a miss, 3-2.
Two-seam action down the zone. The pitching backwards aspect of a guy like Ricky Nolasco. So off speed, and then he gets a heater.
Here's the payoff. Fouled away. The 3-2 to Judge. Swing and a miss, chase some high heat, and Judge down on strikes.
A little aggressive swinging by Aaron Judge there. A couple pitches he swung that were out of the zone. Clearly this ball is a ball. You see, heater, and starts his swing.
Judge went 0 for 5 last night, 0 for 2 to start tonight's action. And here's Tyler Austin. Austin struck out his first at bat. Grounds that one to short. Simmons puts him away. Another 1-2-3 inning for Nolasco. Albert Pujols has long been one of the premier power hitters in this game. He'll lead off the bottom of the 4th when we come back. Bottom of the fourth inning in Anaheim. The Yankees a 3-0 lead. Gary Sanchez a homer in the first. Brian McCann a 2-run single. And Luis Cessa has given up just 1 hit. Make it 2 hits. Albert Pujols grounded out to third his first at bat. And looks at strike 1. Nice fastball on the inside corner under the hands of Pujols. It's 1-2. Popped up. Right field, Judge makes the grab for the first out. Now, Meredith, I know you had a chance to chat with Luis Cessa in advance of his first big league start here tonight.
Well, Ryan, there's no doubt he was excited yesterday when he addressed the media in the clubhouse. And if there were any nerves, you certainly couldn't tell. He was asked about his 2016 as a whole so far, and he said, "It's simply been an amazing year for me. It was my first big league spring training. I made the opening day roster, so mentally he has felt like he is ready. He was hoping to get the opportunity as a starter, but was happy to be on this roster, whether it be as a guy in the bullpen or as a starter. Now that this opportunity is happening, he realizes that it could be an audition for the future, not only for this year, but for next year. But guys, he had the right attitude yesterday, saying simply, I am focusing on tomorrow night."
Meredith, did he seem confident that he's ready for that step into the rotation?
He did, and I really think that the 8 relief appearances he made prior to this really helped him kind of get his feet wet up here. The fact that he's working with Gary Sanchez, a guy that he's worked a lot with in the minors. Joe Girardi spoke about that, how there's a comfort level with the catcher you've thrown to before, and he thinks that's all part of it, and it's clear that he has not had any hesitation on the mound tonight. Really looks like he belongs.
Wow. I mean, as you're speaking, Meredith, I'm just watching him carve up Jeffrey Marte with a slider change and then paints a fastball inside, completely overmatched. And you mentioned about the relationship of that split screen right there. That's important, for a young pitcher to have a guy that knows him, that's caught him as a starter in the minor leagues. Knows where he likes to go in certain counts if you're behind, and which of the go-to pitches. And the visual there from Gary Sanchez, you give a little affirmation there with, come on, let's go. This is a good pitch right here.
The 1-0 is indeed a good pitch. 1-1.
I mean, that's a really good sequence there. Misses heater, 1-0, and then he pulls the string, big slow curveball.
Who's your favorite catcher to throw to, Al? I want to put you on the spot in case they're all listening.
I was definitely weird in the sense that I pitched my game. So I wasn't a guy, which was probably dumb because I probably should have just listened to whoever's throwing the finger down. I had my most success with Mike Piazza when I was with the Mets. I mean, I was there 7 years, and numbers-wise, says.
Grounded to third. Torreyes fires across. Another smooth inning for Luis Cessa. Cutting everybody's story short tonight. That's how quick he's moving. Top of the 5th inning, Ronald Torreyes leading off. Had a big game yesterday. 4 hits, including his first big league home run, and he got a nice congratulations on Twitter from the Yankees PR account, which posted a hilarious photo of him and Aaron Judge. Different size uniforms, same size hearts. Congratulations on your first home run was the caption from the Yankees PR Twitter account. Now, Ronald Torreyes is listed at 5'10".
I'm seeing 5'10". I'm like, wait a minute.
It feels like a very 5'7½-ish 5'10". And Aaron Judge is every bit 6'7½". I'm 5'10". 5'9 3/4.
So
but I feel like I'm allowed to round up like 3/4 of an inch.
No, 3/4. You round up. We'll do the casual around the cage tomorrow. Just kind of walk by.
Stand by. You be the official judge tomorrow, okay?
We'll report it.
Torreyes fouls that off, and Torreyes, I believe, had a little bit of an adventure to get this home run ball. It was no cheapie, Al.
Right, you see Jared Weaver head down into the back bullpen here at the Big A.
And Judge was in there to grab the helmet, and his teammates so happy for him. You always wonder when a guy hits his first home run, all right, is he going to be able to retrieve that? And Meredith, it was a successful story.
They actually did get that home run ball. Yankees security, Eddie Fastook, went out there to try to find it, but it was actually in the bullpen. They tracked it down out there, but he does have it in his possession. He also told me earlier today that he had a ton of texts from family and friends who were watching from Venezuela that saw that first home run. I asked him how many times he had watched that home run again. He just smiled at me and said a couple. Also, Joe Girardi was asked whether or not his performance last night would influence him to play him a little bit more moving forward, and he said, look, if he gets 4 hits every night, I'll play him every day, and he'll be MVP by the end of the year too.
Yeah, really great timing for it as well, and Joe Girardi made it seem like it wasn't a hard call to put him back in there today because, hey, off a 4-hit game, and also Chase Headley dealing with a sore Achilles. He gets an extra day off. Nolasco's seemed to settle down here, Al, after that first inning.
You know, I mean, listen, you come out of the chute, get 2 outs, and then the home run from Sanchez, some timely hitting, you're down by 3. But this is who Ricky Nolasco is. Changes speeds, a little hanging slider, getting ahead. Don't kind of fall asleep. You know, often you see teams sometimes they get a few runs early on. In this case, 3 in the first inning, and not that you're not trying to hit a home run or hit a line drive somewhere, but don't let a guy get back into it.
Gardner showed bunt, pulled back.
I mean, the replay on Torreyes, Ryan, that's in the second bullpen here. That is a shot. It's 390 left center.
No, he crushed that. Gardner grounds that foul. Joe Girardi said he wasn't surprised because he had seen Torreyes hit a home run to straightaway center in BP. So thought something good might happen, and we heard Meredith in the pregame show talk about Starlin Castro actually predicted that home run for Torreyes.
He did?
Right in the dugout, right before. Could tell he was going to go yard. Which, look, when you predict a home run for somebody who's never hit one.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you saying I'm being too gullible, believing Starlin?
I mean, I could hear a lot of guys predict stuff and, you know, it doesn't come. They see the hanging breaking ball, middle, inner half. But, I mean, again, this was a shot. Of course, they got the distance on it, but that had to be 4.
It was over. I believe it was 30? Over 400.
Well, no, it's got to be over 400.
I mean, yes.
It's 390 to the wall.
Right. Well, at the point, it's 390. Gardner down on strikes. Hey, tomorrow the Yankees are back on Yes for a final face-off with the Angels. Coverage begins at 3 o'clock with the Chevy pregame. Then we're back here in Anaheim for all the action tomorrow on Yes and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Ellsbury. Nolasco has retired 10 in a row. And a weak wave on a 1-0 pitch from Ellsbury, 1-1. Did you get 10 as well when you counted it up, Al?
Yeah, I got the error that Simmons I'm looking at when Torreyes got on in the second inning.
That was the last base runner. Simmons' error. Ellsbury grounds it hard, but right to Petit. Another 1-2-3 frame for Nolasco. He's retired 11 in a row as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Sporting Goods, your fan gear headquarters. Carlos Gomez signed a minor league deal with the Rangers, and Jung Ho Gong placed on the 15-day DL by the Pirates as they make their wild card push. Pretty amazing. You think about what's happened with Gomez after being such a coveted player at the trade deadline last year. Yeah. That is a broken bat. Diving grab by Gregorius. Full body length for the first out.
Didi went a long way. You see where he's playing, kind of straight, maybe slight pull, a step or two. Nice job, broken bat, jam shot off of Crone's fist. Full extension, man, good play. Keep his eye on the ball, and awesome.
Gregorius showing off in front of one of his good buddies, childhood friend, who gets much more attention for his defense than Gregorius, and that's Andrelton Simmons. Both grew up in Curacao together. Played together for about 10 years as kids. And Gregorius and Simmons were pitchers as well then. You know, Simmons has been clocked at 98 miles an hour throwing, and not when he was 8 years old playing with Gregorius, but and Gregorius has been clocked in the high 90s as well.
Is that right?
Yep.
98 from Simmons? Well, he's got a gun for sure.
When the Braves drafted him, there were people who thought, well, is he going to be a pitcher or a position player? Simmons, that is. But Gregorius and Simmons grew up together playing second, short, and pitcher. And they would rotate. When they were both in the middle of the infield, Gregorius would play second, Simmons would play short. They're still very close. And last year, when Gregorius was struggling, Simmons actually reached out to him and said, hey, don't worry about Derek Jeter. Be you. Just be the best version of yourself. I was talking with Gregorius about it, and he said it was a useful reminder to hear at that time from somebody who had seen him play his entire life.
I think that was the biggest thing for Didi, to finally, you know, establish himself as, not playing in the footsteps or, you know, the shadows of Derek Jeter. Just be the player that the Yankees thought you were with the Arizona.
Popped up. Austin makes the play. 2 out.
Cessa right now just making it look fun for a pitcher. Getting ahead, get nice plays from guys like Didi Gregorius.
These defenders have to love working behind Luis Cessa with the rhythm he's had tonight. As you were talking about earlier, Alex, it works for everybody. Like that.
Perfect. Look at that.
Inning over. Luis Cessa is getting them in the dugout as quickly as he can. '26th when the Yankees take on the Orioles. The first 18,000 guests 21 and older will receive a Yankees mason jar courtesy of Budweiser. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Top of the 6th inning. Yankees a 3-0 lead on the Angels. Here's Gary Sanchez, homered his first at bat, struck out his second, and takes a breaking ball high for ball 1.
Well, as you said, Nolasco settling down. Able to find the rhythm and figure of his 2 secondary pitches. The slower one of the 70-mile-an-hour pitch, first one, and then their slider at 81.
Nolasco's retired 11 in a row. The 1-1. Chop to the second baseman Petit on the other side of the bag. Throws low, but scooped out by Crone for the first out.
Nice job by C.J. Crone.
Number 18, Didi Gregorius.
Watch here, see Petit on the shortstop side. Kind of little flick throw. Good job by Crone picking it.
Each of these starters working quickly with manageable pitch counts. Strike one.
Manageable pitch counts. I know, you have to say it, Ryan, in this day and age. I mean, outside of the first inning, Velasco's done a hell of a job, right? Was it 12 in a row now? And
12 in a row.
You know,
just giving up 2 hits, that's it.
Yeah, I know it's a pitch count error, but these guys are getting the job done. Look with your eyeballs. Get the understanding and watching and visualize what pitchers are doing. The nuance of pitching, of having the ability to identify what's good and what's not on a given night and try to exploit a hitter's weakness in doing so. And it's not always just 97 or 95, as we're watching Velasco now after having a rough first inning, settling down nicely.
Right. What you're saying is you don't get to a magic number and then everything changes.
I just think, listen, somewhere along the line, somebody's going to probably have the data to say, yeah, Al, after 100 pitches, the wheels fall off. There's different ways that pitchers get to the 100 pitch count. And I just think that the fire bells don't have to always go off with a 100 pitch count. Because not every pitch is the same, right? The effort and the stress level, etc., is different in the inning where early on here where Cessa had to get Trout out, and he ended up making a good pitch early in the game. What inning was that? In the third inning, a grounder to short. Yep. He had some trouble. Like those pitches are different.
Gregorius slaps that to left field. Will it stay fair? No. Our colleague David Cohn always talks about that as well, Al. The difference in stress level. Stressful innings. Are you throwing 35 pitches in an inning with the bases loaded, or?
Right. Or is it 7-0 and you're in the 7th or 8th inning, and
right.
You know it's just a different level of stress. So therefore your muscles are different, and your mind is clear and more relaxed, etc.
Gregorius battling this at bat. Cessa's high in case we do want the number, Al.
No, we got to hear it.
Or his last start, I should say. 101 pitches in the minors. Now, that was back on August 5th. Threw 28 in relief on August 11th and then 50 on August 14th. And you see Nolasco has done short work after that first, but that is drilled deep right center. Trout on the move, closes the gap and makes the grab.
Well, Trout hasn't won a gold yet, but I'll tell you what, he can cover an awful lot of ground. I thought this ball off of Didi's bat had a little more line drive to it. Slight pull to the right side. Trout was, and made it look easy. He went a long way for this, tracking it, knowing the distance and angle to the wall. Good job.
He is something to behold, not just at the plate. As Gregorius's quality contact and pesky at bat bears no fruit. Here's Castro with 2 out. Castro fouls that down the right field line. Now on August 7th, his birthday against Seattle, Mike Trout robbing a grand slam.
It's almost, I mean, watching him, he's done that how many times?
Yep. Rob Leonis Martin. This guy just turned 25 years old. Signed through 2020. Already a 5-time All-Star, an MVP, and a runner-up 3 times in the MVP voting. A lot of people jumped on the Bryce Harper as the best player in baseball train last year, but Trout over these last 5 years, no doubt, has that mantle when you put it all together.
Did you say mantle? I mean, reminds me of, man, right? I mean, I know Mickey was a switch hitter, but
yeah,
I mean, it could run, power, hit 300. I mean, he's the full package. Best player in baseball, in my opinion.
I agree. The 2-2. Castro, did he go around? No, says Joe West. How similar are Trout and Mantle? Look at those numbers through the first 773 games. It's freakish how similar they are. The slugging percentage, one different. The home, it is. It's insane.
I mean, look at it, through 773 games, almost identical. Amazing. Well, he's got 3 MVPs.
Mickey with 3 MVPs, Trout with 1 and 3 runner-ups.
Oh, I said 3, huh? Yeah, wait. 1 with. He was second.
I was trying to do it in a way, you know, to let it slide
nice,
out.
Yeah.
You didn't
no,
need to
don't you dare.
Highlight it an exclamation point.
Yeah, no, I know he missed out 3 other times, right? His rookie of the year, he was second.
That's smashed up the middle, and that'll end a string of 13 straight retired by Nolasco.
Designated hitter, number 34,
Nice
Brian
at bat by Starlin right there. Staying up the middle, something up in the zone. Little fastball up and away, stays on it. Good piece of hitting.
And that puts Nolasco in the stretch for the first time since the 2nd inning. Gives Brian McCann, who has excellent career numbers against him, a chance. The 0-1. On the inside corner, Brian McCann not too sure.
Well, Brian is right on the plate, so it's hard to actually get a strike in there. He's almost on the line on the inside part of the batter's box for left-handers. Not a whole lot of room in there. Coming in again.
Runner goes. That's lined into left center field. Castro will move to 3rd, and Brian McCann has his first multi-hit game since July 9th.
Right fielder, number 99,
Tough hitting right here. 0-2 count. You see where Simmons is playing just high enough. He's reacting to come in with the runner and moving position there with Starlin. May have cost him an out.
And now a chance for Judge. 0 for 7 thus far in this series. Struck out his last at bat. The 1-0. In the dirt. 2-0.
Well, this is the be careful. Clearly, Aaron Judge has the ability to hit a ball a long way. Started off the slider, then comes back with a slower breaking ball. 2-0 count. Aaron Judge, make sure you get a good pitch here. Don't do the pitcher a favor by swinging at a pitch out of the zone.
Went slider on 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's in a big spot in this game. He's up to his 93 pitches, 6th inning. A slider after 2 breaking balls. Perfect location. I mean, that is a pitcher's pitch, no doubt.
The 2-1 to Judge. Another slider. Judge waves and misses. 2-2.
See, that's the back-to-back of a slider on the plate, gets the called strike from Andy Fletcher, home plate umpire, and it's the same pitch, but a little bit further off the plate. Just expanding the zone a little bit more. The visual looks like identical pitch on the plate. Aaron Judge swinging at a ball.
Runner goes, and Brian McCann wisely takes second.
For his first stolen base. A huge jump by Brian McCann there with Nolasco getting a 2-2 count, thinking getting Judge out.
That is his first stolen base since 2012. There was that enormous jump. Here's the 3-2 to Judge. Fastball hammered to right field, a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes McCann. The throw home, not in time. A 2-out, 2-run single for Aaron Judge, and it's a 5-0 Yankees lead.
Well, Judge finally gets a fastball up and away. Looked like a ball. Bell tie, stays on it, drives that ball to right field. Cole Calhoun, strong throw. Ryan McCann getting a great secondary lead and seeing the tag from Jet Bandy. This would be a good view right here.
He was in there.
Yeah, anytime you tag on the back. Watch here, he's going. Joey Espada saying, give it. Come on.
Brian McCann with an important stolen base of second as he comes around to score on a big 2-out hit from Aaron Judge.
First baseman, number 26, Tyler Austin.
Interesting, Al. He had gone slider 2-0, slider 2-1, comes fastball 3-2 on Judge.
All off speed until the 3-2. And then missed, mostly missed location. That ball was up, out, over. But you're right, Ryan. Once he got behind it, looked defensive. He thought he'd sneak the fastball by him. Nice job by Aaron.
Five 5-0 Yankees here in the top of the 6th. All 5 runs have come with 2 outs tonight.
How about that?
That was one of your keys to the game, Al.
Timely hitting. That was, hey, tack on run. You get the early runs and then settle down with nothing. Nice job right there. The Yankees picking up the 2-out hits. Castro, McCann, and then Judge.
The 1-1 outside, 2-1. Nolasco had retired 13 in a row before Castro's 2-out single. And McCann single, Judge singled, drove in 2. It's a 5-0 Yankee lead as they look to match their high water mark for the season of 4 games over 500.
Wow. Say that again. Match their high.
They haven't been to 5 yet. The 2-1, 3-1.
Could be the last pitch for Nolasco. 100 pitches. Struggling here a bit.
The 3-1. Ooh, on the outside corner. Tyler Austin was ready to jog to first.
That ball looked away. Jet Bandy, the catcher, you see, kind of pulls it back. Anytime you see a catcher do that, probably off the plate here.
Yeah,
that's off the plate.
Yeah. So Judge will be off. 2 outs in the 3-2 count. Here's the payoff to Austin. Nubbed to the right side. Nolasco will do it himself and end the inning. But the Yankees add 2 more. A 2-run, 2-out single from Aaron Judge. It's 5-0.
Good job through the 5 innings here. 2 hits. Taking a look at what he's done. He's touched 98 miles an hour. Mike Trout, slider away. I'll tell you, the slider curveball combo. Thrown a couple changeup. You see there the lockup to Crone. Didn't swing. Jet Bandy. I like this right here. Marte. This was a tough fastball in at 96 miles an hour. Good pace, pounding the zone, getting ahead of his 67 pitches, Ryan. 43 of them are strikes. Excellent job so far by Luis Cessa.
He deals to Gregorio Petit, foul back here, just underneath us. Still 94 miles an hour from Cessa.
He's got the arm, no question about it, Ryan. If you look at, I just like how you mentioned and you alluded to, like he's ready. Here it is. He's on the mound. He's waiting for Gary Sanchez to give his sign. 3 pitches primarily. 95 fastball in, slider curve. I only have him for 3 changeups. We were talking earlier about Andrew Miller when he was in the pen. He primarily, you eliminate some of your other secondary pitches.
Right.
He's mostly 3-pitch tonight. This should be a curveball here. You see Gary wanting it down.
It is. And Gregorius has it. 1 out.
It's kind of the blueprint, really. Pitcher establish strikes, show you're in command. Show that you're ready to pitch and you're battling. This is a gladiator type scenario, right? Pitcher mano a mano, pitcher hitter. And there's a nice, aside from the pace and tempo of what Cessa's shown, he's got the goods. He's got the stuff, if you will. And then it's a matter of just consistently doing it. That's it.
.95 inside from Cessa. Well, and now we've heard the conversation and dug into the possibility of these young hitters being a huge part of a foundation for the future for the Yankees. But the arms, obviously, you want to come along with them. And Luis Severino looked like that arm last year. Still high hopes for him, but he struggled this year. But Luis Cessa and Chad Green now, two very young guys, two live arms. And Green coming off an outstanding start. Cessa in his major league debut has been brilliant thus far.
Yeah, I think we have to be careful, right? I mean, it's only a start.
Yep.
You know, it's even if it's only a month, certainly to give credit to where credit's due. But it's encouraging when you see a young pitcher and what Cessa's doing here tonight, and to look at how he's doing it and the stuff that's actually coming out of his arm. There's still there's a learning curve to it, and there's bumps along the road. But you have a guy that's consistently thrown 95 or better-ish, average velocity, touched 98. He's got 3 secondary pitches, slider, which has been good. He's sprinkled in the curve. Like, he's got the stuff.
A little high, and that is going to be the first walk issued by Cessa tonight.
Center fielder,
He'll miss it a little bit. Now, this is where we're talking about, and that's 77 pitches. What did you say earlier, the most pitches he had recently?
Well, recently he threw 101 his last start. That was back on August the 5th, I believe, at Scranton.
All right. So that's good, because then really the number jump in pitch counts. Now, I do watch that. If you have a guy that's been, you know, in the pad and hadn't thrown more than, whatever, 50 pitches, you got to watch the additional number.
Sanchez fires to first, and he's out. Cole Calhoun wandered too far, and Sanchez has a cannon, was able to unleash it.
Well, you see Socha right here. He's going to, nope, he was told, you got it right. Wow. But watch it. Sanchez down in the zone, looks up. Calhoun wanders, as you said, Ryan, a little too far. He was going to go, and then it didn't go far enough. Good quick snap tag. He's tried to do the swim move. Calhoun did. Nice job by Tyler Austin. Quick throw. Sanchez.
When it squirted away from Sanchez, he sort of calmly walked to it. Oh, and now Trout gets drilled high from Cessa. He's come in with fastballs all night on Trout. This time he missed.
And a 1-1 count. You know, to not be intimidated, to come in hard on a great player like Mike Trout. And that ball was, well, shoulder high, getting up there near the face. Well, not afraid to come in.
Here's Albert Pujols. Ball one. Scary when you see mid-90s up there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you start getting up to the head. That's where you know, any hitter will say, hey, you see the little glance. No hitter likes that when you get upstairs near the neck or shoulder. In that case, not intentional by any means. Now, missing command-wise in the previous at bat with Calhoun, you know, he missed it pretty big in some of his pitches.
I tell you, he's getting tired.
Yeah, I think so. Ryan, I think that's part of, you know, the grind of making pitches, quality pitch after quality pitch. But when you miss big, that's usually where you see the indicator as the guy getting tired. Not stuff-wise. Guys can find velocity.
Breaking ball, backed up on him, strike two. And Tyler Clippard getting loose in the Yankee pen. Joe Girardi seeing what you're seeing.
Be good to see Luis Cessa bear down right here and get a great player and Pujols out of this one. Heading the count.
That's what he did. Strike 3. Pujols chases. Cessa escapes. To the 7th we go. Sun, full of action, full of possibilities, full of life. By Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. And by your Tri-Honda dealer. Hurry into your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on 2016 models. At Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California, the Yankees with a 5-0 lead on the Angels. 2-out hitting. In the first inning, a home run from Gary Sanchez, a 2-run single from Brian McCann. And then in the 6th, a 2-out, 2-run single from Aaron Judge. And Luis Cessa has been terrific in his first major league start. 6 shutout innings. As Torreyes yanks that deep to left, but foul, as he bid for his 2nd home run in as many days.
I still can't get over when you said Starlin Castro predicted for Torreyes.
That's what Starlin says.
He's not a home run hitter. Yeah, no, I believe it.
And Al, we got the footage. You wanted to know how long that home run was?
Yes,
from Ronald Torreyes?
Yeah, I do.
417 feet. And you see how much stronger the production was last night from the sporadic playing time he had in his previous 23 games. 417 is a blast.
I'm still looking at it. I don't know how they get these calculations. Are you with it? The back bullpen, which is the home bullpen here.
Yeah, in left
at the Big A.
Left
it's
field.
390 left center, so it was left of that. But
yeah.
So how wide are bullpens? 20 feet?
You were out there more than me.
I'm going to say 15 or 20 feet, right? A couple mounds.
That sounds right. But the 390 is more towards left center than where Torreyes hit it. See, that's that 390 point. But that's really left center. He hit it more left of that. And 417 to left is a poke.
Here's a little hanger from Jared Weaver. Middle. Boom. Actually bounced over into the stands.
Yeah. I mean, it was cranked.
Look at these guys.
A 1-2. That was something Torreyes commented on as well. Al said it felt so good to see how happy his teammates were for him and how great they've been all year. And you could see the genuine joy, you know, when a guy who practices his tail off, works so hard in pregame, rarely gets in, comes through with a game like that and a moment like that, your teammates are going to be happy for you. 3-2.
And against his former team. He's had a kind of an interesting route.
Yeah.
Torreyes to getting from back to the Yankees. Interesting enough, the Dodgers traded Torreyes to the Yankees, and then the Yankees designated him assignment this January. Got claimed off waivers by the Angels, and then came back to the Yankees.
That's driven in the air to center. Trout drifting back for the first out. And that is going to end Ricky Nolasco's night. This call to the bullpen will be brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Mike Scioscia will call for a lefty. We'll step aside. It's brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy all the things you love better with Time Warner Cable. 5-7-0 for the Yankees. 0-2-1 for the Angels. As Luis Cessa has given up just 2 hits through 6 innings in his first big league start. Wow. And the Angels' offensive struggles continue. Jose Alvarez to face Brett Gardner. Grounded up the middle, Simmons. 2 down.
27-year-old Jose Alvarez, lefty specialist, fastball slider, changeup pitcher. 47 innings, 62 hits, a little too high for the hits to innings ratio there. Coming in, get key lefties out.
From Venezuela, been very effective at home. A 1.40 ERA on the road, over 6.6. Ellsbury 0 for 3. Couple of ground outs. And a line out to left. Big swing there from Ellsbury.
You can see Alvarez wide. Lefty specialists are paid to do what they do. Across his body, fastball slider combo to left-handed batters. Still have to throw your fastball. He doesn't overpower guys. Sits right at about 90. But way across his body. Steps about a foot or so toward the first base dugout. Deception. If you're not going to throw 95 or better, either a plus secondary pitch or have some kind of deception in your delivery. A lot of pitchers will do that. You see they'll close off to keep the hitter from seeing the ball. Tough to pick up.
Gary Sanchez on deck. As you see what Al's talking about.
Yeah, he just steps across his body. Jared Weaver, who did it for years, it's about a foot or so, but you stay closed and therefore harder to see where the arm angle is and where the release point.
That's smashed to center. Trout is there for the final out. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Top quality sales event. The Yankees will have one more here in Anaheim tomorrow afternoon on Yes. Then they'll head to Seattle for 3 before an off day and coming home to face Baltimore at the stadium.
Yeah, the Great Northwest. Looking forward to that, Ryan.
Yeah.
Seattle playing a lot better baseball. 7 games behind Texas. And 9 games over 500.
Former Angels GM Jerry Dipoto now the GM of Seattle, as that is lined into left field. A base hit for Jeffrey Marte. Just the 3rd hit allowed for Cessa, and that is going to do it for Luis Cessa, as Joe Girardi will come out and grab him. And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Couldn't have hoped for much more from Luis Cessa's first big league start, and allows just 3 hits, no runs. summer clearance event. Well, Luis Cessa, just removed from this game, 6 innings, 3 hits, is responsible for the runner at first, hasn't allowed a run yet. Gary Sanchez began the scoring with a solo home run in the first. Brian McCann and Aaron Judge each with 2-out, 2-run singles in this game. And the Yankees and Luis Cessa turn things over to Tyler Clippard. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of Yankee fans staying up late watching this game back east thinking, hold on a second, Luis Cessa only at 85 pitches, has given up just 3 hits. Why is he out of this game?
Are you asking? Hey, listen, this is where we are in baseball, Ryan. I know you know this, but the reality is that forget about complete games. The Yankees don't have a complete game this year. Across baseball, how many complete games do you think there are? There you see Tyler Clippard's numbers. How many complete games? Just take a guess.
In all of baseball?
All of baseball.
55?
37. You know
Wow.
how many games have been played up to tonight? 1,822 games. Now, I'm not saying he was going to complete the game, but I'm with you. And I'm the wrong guy to ask because every game that I pitched games where Dallas Green had me in for 163 pitches. I don't advocate that.
No,
but
because we know what happened to your arm after.
Yeah, no, listen, there's pushing a guy, getting a sense of where the pitcher is,
right,
and then abuse. So I'm not talking about that. But I did sense, Cessa, control-wise, not as crisp the last inning or two. He got out of a little bit of what looked like jams. But you're right. It's 6+ innings, 3 hits, no runs, 5 punch-outs, 1 walk.
Well, it is interesting, though, because as you pointed out in the 6th inning, the full count pitch to Calhoun, he missed high. That was his first walk. Then he hit Trout trying to go inside, something he had been able to avoid while going in the rest of the game, which were signs of fatigue. As Clippard gets Simmons to pop out to Austin. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to AT Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB TV for details.
And if that clubs are going more and more to what the Yankees had in, the big 3, now Chapman and Miller no longer here, you've done your job. I mean, that's kind of what the mindset is for pitchers now, is that I went 5+, I threw my 100 pitches, and I did my job. And in the defensive managers, Ryan, they have really good quality arms that are coming in.
Yeah.
And they're drafting guys to be relievers, not just a closer and a good setup guy. Like there's a lot of really good arms that are coming out of bullpens now.
That is cranked. Deep left. Gardner leaps. Did he grab it? He did! Oh, what a grab by Brett Gardner to rob C.J. Cron of a long ball.
You betcha, Tyler Clippard. Oh, my.
He almost joined the crowd to catch that one.
On a full sprint, Brett Gardner, you see he's got it tracked. Now, that wall is low here in Anaheim. Awesome. Leap perfectly timed. Thank you, Yankee fan. That was right behind the wall there. Check this out, Ryan. Knew exactly to jump. I mean, it was perfect. What a play.
That is a remarkable catch. Popped up. This one should be a little easier. Inning over. Cron thought he got it. Couldn't believe it. But Brett Gardner robbed him. Went into the crowd to do so, and Tyler Clippard loved it. buzzing about that Brett Gardner catch to rob C.J. Cron of a 2-run homer.
Went a long way. This, as soon as he tracked here, timing, the wall, great extension, good leap, impressive.
I mean, he's also getting cracked in the back by the wall as he's extending fully over it to make that catch.
It's a pad. He's a pad on it. No. Exceptional. One of the best plays.
That's one of the real web gems of this season for the Yankees. There were Yankee fans right there to witness it and help get Brett back onto the field of play. J.C. Ramirez.
5+ ERA, that's all you see there.
And that's the case for a lot of this Angels pitching staff. You know, their offense has failed them in the month of August. But for much of this season, their offense was fine. It was the pitching. They've had injuries in the bullpen. Houston Street out, their closer, and he has struggled this year anyway. Their entire starting rotation has gone down at one point or another. Sanchez is down on strikes for the second time tonight. Take a look at the out-of-town scores. They are brought to you by the new movie Hands of Stone, in theaters everywhere Friday. Toronto top Cleveland 6-5. Tampa Bay over Texas. Baltimore losers tonight. That's good news for the Yankees. And Boston a 3-2 edge on Detroit in the bottom of the 8th.
Houston was making a push there for a bit.
Yeah.
Falling back a little. A couple games over 500.
Yankees began today 5 games in back of that second wild card spot that Baltimore held, so the Yankees can pick up a game on the Orioles if they hold on to this 5-0 lead tonight.
Making it interesting. Looking at a guy like J.C. Ramirez, 28-year-old, a 5.34 ERA in the 51 games.
Yeah.
He's throwing 97, 98. He's touched 99 this year. Primarily fastball slider. I mean, just, you know, we talk about it a lot, Ryan, about, you know, the impressiveness of seeing guys that throw close to 100.
Swing and a miss. Gregorius down on strikes. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Everybody in the crowd flashing their phones to try and spark a rally. Sort of odd to do it when your team's in the field, though.
I said, God, everything's lit up here with the little sparkling lights.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, they had the rally monkey here right now,
yeah.
So they got the rally
flash
on the phone.
They also happen to do it just as we hit midnight on the East Coast. Well, Yankee fans doing it right there.
Well, that makes sense. Yankees are up.
Castro fouls that back and into the booth just to our right. back to Angels radio booth. Yeah, nice play over there.
Let's see, Manny Mota Jr. He's got Jose Mota. He's got his baseball glove. This is about his best vantage point for TV booth.
It's unbelievable. The best, could be the best view of any booth in the big leagues. See how close that one was to us? Yeah, right next door. And that is our view.
Nice.
It's great. Foul tip by Castro. Castro, another productive day. In the midst of the young Yankee hitters coming up and making noise, Castro has been very productive of late. He's talked about focusing on being aggressive rather than worrying about swinging and missing, something he's worked very hard at with Marcus Tim. Said too many times this year, I've been worried about swinging and missing, and so I'm swinging before I even see the ball. I have to be aggressive and confident, and then he'll stay middle as well. Here, buzzed off the plate, 97 from Ramirez.
Well, he gives tough at bats. He fights off sliders, the tough pitch away. He'll hit a mistake.
Crowd doing the wave. Sellout crowd, 44,129. The Yankees in town always means more fans in the seats, plus Garrett Anderson night here and fireworks after the game. In case you want to stay out.
That's what the flashlights are.
Yeah. They're rally phone fireworks. The 2-2. Chopped to short. That'll end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees holding a 5-0 lead. All is brought to you by the Honda Summer Clearance Event. By Fios. Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. Visit getfios.com. By Land Rover, above and beyond. By Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. By Modell's Sporting Goods, your fan gear headquarters. Come on, Bronx Bomber fans, you got to go to Moe's. And by the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event now through September 5th. Bottom of the 8th inning in Anaheim. And after Tyler Clippard's scoreless inning, Tommy Lane has come on for the Yankees. He'll face 8-9-1. Yankees with a 5-0 lead. Ryan Rucco, Al Leiter, Meredith Morakovitz with you. All of you on the East Coast, we appreciate you staying up with us late on a Saturday night.
Yeah, right. What's it? 10 after 12?
That's right. Luis Cessa went 6+ innings in his first big league start, allowed just 3 hits, no runs.
Sharp.
That's rolled back to the mound. Lane makes the play for the first out. Hey, our next Picks telecast will be Friday when the Yankees meet the Baltimore Orioles. Coverage begins at 6:30 right here on New York's Home for Baseball, Picks 11. Let me ask you out. Cessa, obviously the line tonight, very impressive. What was most impressive to you about his start?
I think the way he attacked, he had a kind of a relentless look. Aside from the fact that he was 95 or better, I saw 2 different breaking balls. Occasional changeup. Wasn't really that confident with it. I think I had 3 or 4.
Gregorius gets to that. In time for the second out.
I also thought, and you know, he ended up hitting Mike Trout as we saw in what inning was that, in the 6th inning.
That's right.
Not afraid to come in. You know, and listen, Ryan, there's a difference between showing in and pitching in. In order to pitch in, you can't be afraid to, one, hit the guy. There's just a small window there, and to be aggressive about it, because that opens up the outside part of the plate. For Cessa's case, with righty on righty, you got to let hitters know that you'll come inside to stand a guy up. We saw that early on. I thought he had some really textbook at bats to a few, Pujols and Trout in particular early on, and then it opens up a way with your slider curveball combo. And that's what he was doing. He was getting in great counts, aggressive. I love his path, his delivery, smooth. It's not a herky-jerky max effort 95. He was impressive.
Looks very athletic on the mound, too. Former infielder.
Shortstop, right?
Yep.
What'd you say, short, second?
No, shortstop.
I mean,
and, you know, he was signed as that in 08. He didn't convert to a pitcher until 2011.
Well, his first appearance as a pitcher was in 2011, right? I mean, I think he was starting the transition at 2010. Whichever. He was young. He signed as a 16-year-old infielder with the Mets.
But now in position to win his first big league start. High chopper. Lane can't field it. That's going to be a foul ball.
Overran it.
Baltimore chop.
That'd have been interesting if he was on the line, or what was viewed as inside the line, and touched it. Yeah, we're going to see Mike Scioscia. The ball hit, and then where eventually Lane, watch here, he misses it, but then when he comes back, the ball hit in fair territory, but then that little catch there, he's foul. Watch here. Well, no, it was foul all the way around.
Yeah, it's definitely foul, yep.
I don't know what Scioscia's complained about. A defender has the right to field the ball.
Unless Scioscia thought the ball was fair and it hit Lane's glove and bounced foul. But that clearly was not the case. Calhoun, a walk, a single, has also grounded out. The only Angel has been on base twice tonight.
another part of Cessa's assessment. Chris plays. Nice defense. You know, you get that pace, that tempo. Hitters pitch, you know, your fielders behind you. Everybody appreciates that. Quick worker, throwing strikes, putting the ball in play. Umpires like it. You got to maybe, you know, you get the benefit of the doubt if you're hitting the glove and you're on. Your defenders are not on their heels.
Tommy Lane presenting a different pace.
Deliberate.
And ball 4.
Center field, number 27.
Here is Mike Trout. Hit by Cessa's last time up, what Al was talking about when Cessa went in, missed. Hit Trout very high with a hard fastball. And that is inside and off the glove of Sanchez. On to second goes Calhoun.
I don't know how far inside. We'll get a good look here, but clearly a scout report on Mike Trout is pound the body line inside. He's trying to hit anybody here, but you see Gary Sanchez setting up inside. That ball cut like Tommy Lane. Catchers anticipate certain movement. This ball was a fastball, just kept boring in. Sanchez whiffed it.
They call that a wild pitch.
Did they really?
Yeah.
A ball in flight that hits the catcher's glove.
You would have loved that.
To give up a hit here, it'd be a little better.
The 1-0. Off the outside corner, 2-0. (2-0) to Trout. In there for a strike, 2-1. Adam Warren has been just standing on the mound, looking in.
Ready.
Struck out Trout last night in the only hairy spot of the game. Bases loaded in the 8th. And he may be a pitch away from coming in to face Pujols.
Take away maybe.
Here's the 3-1 from Lane. On the outside corner, 3-2.
You know, this angle that we have, the center field shot, little left center, but every one of these, what look like fastballs, are cutting, late movement. You see the give up that Mike Trout had on that pitch. Nipped the outside corner.
Here's the payoff. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Sanchez will gather and tag Trout. And Lane fans Trout to end the 8th. To the 9th we go. The Yankees holding a 5-0 lead. I'm looking at the Yankees in-game box score. It's brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond. Ellsbury and Gardner quiet at the top. Gary Sanchez, another home run that came in the first. Starlin Castro, Brian McCann doing big damage, and Judge with a two-run, two-out single to extend the lead from 3-0 to 5-0. And the Yankees getting excellent work from Luis Cessa in his first big league start. Have a 5-0 lead in the top of the ninth. New pitcher for the Angels.
Jose Valdez. You see another Angels reliever with an ERA 5.6. When Houston Street went down, All-Star Houston Street, and then Cam Bedrosian was another guy that went down. They've had a lot of injuries.
Yeah. They traded Joe Smith, another one of their trusted relievers, traded him to the Cubs.
So literally they don't have a closer. I mean, of all the guys, we've seen a few, but Fernando Salas is probably their guy.
Salas had a lot of success early in his career with the Cardinals. McCann rolls that to first, stays fair, 1 out. Well, you mentioned the injuries and the changing of arms in the bullpen, and then you add on top of that as Betances forms. He has not thrown in quite a few days, so Yankees may give him some work, even with it 5-0. And then you think about the injuries to the rotation, where they've lost C.J. Wilson, Andrew Heaney, Garrett Richards, Nick Tropiano. Tyler Skaggs is finally back after a 2-year rehab from Tommy John. If you're Billy Epler going into the Angels trying to evaluate what you have in your first year as GM, it's tough if you're not looking at any of your normal starting pitchers.
And your longtime ace is on the last year of his deal. I don't know if Jared Weaver's going to play again, but clearly not the pitcher that he once was. Peppered around again last night, not throwing a fastball over 85 miles an hour as a right-hander. Just not going to get it done consistently.
2-0 to Judge in their first strike. Aaron Judge with a 2-run, 2-out single in the 6th. A smash to right field. Takes a breaking ball strike, 2-2. Judge said all his family and friends were very excited to get to see him play out here. And he delivered for them with that RBI hit.
Big 2-out hit. A good, tack on to allow the Yankee pitchers to relax a little. Not to say that it's an insurmountable lead, but you got the 3 runs in the top of the first. Also all on 2-out hits after Gary Sanchez 2 outs in the first inning with a solo home run. Single by Gregorius, Castro double, and then Brian McCann single. And then Aaron Judge comes up big and
here, very patient, works a walk.
Well, that's good to see. The strike zone recognition. I think that's one part of any young player, any hitter, is to have the ability of knowing what you're looking for, what the pitcher's trying to do to exploit your weakness, and then not swing at pitches that are out of the zone, blatantly out of the zone. I'm not talking about an inch or two or just off the plate. That's a patient hitter. It's a hitter has a good idea of his strike zone and what he can hit or not.
So here's Tyler Austin. 0 for 3 tonight. Joe Girardi was asked, what is difficult? What are the challenges of managing a young team? Or a younger clubhouse. And one of the things he brought up is he said, I don't think it's more challenging. It's just different. But one thing you want to make sure is that these guys aren't looking over their shoulders. That they know 10 or 20 at-bats is not an evaluation. And so as Tyler Austin goes through some struggles since that first home run, it's something Joe Girardi keeping in mind as he continues to put him back out there every day at first base. As Austin pops out and is 0 for 4.
So I hear you, and I think that is the biggest comfort for a young player. And you mentioned Tyler Austin, struggling after the home run, is to know that and believe that in your manager. That listen, this is where we are. Of course we're trying to win. We're grinding out, but you're gonna get at bats. You're gonna play. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry. Don't look over your shoulder. We're not sending you down. Like, get comfortable. Be who you are. Figure it out. And it's even as big league coaches when you look at young guys that come up here. Don't try to do too much and see what their talent takes them. And then tweak them, of course. When you get to every single level, there's some little modified adjustment that you have to make from A ball to AA to AAA and then eventually the big leagues. I think that's the biggest thing, Ryan. And, if you always are looking over as a young player, your shoulder as to whether you're going to get sent down because you had a bad game, it's going to affect your performance. It is. Your mind's not where it's supposed to be.
It's got to be hard enough just trying to come up here and succeed.
Absolutely. And if you knew that when you're coming out, you're a young player and you got options and you're not getting paid big bucks, I have to, I gotta, I need to, not I'm going to. It's semantics, but it's different. It's different. The comfort of knowing, okay, I'm good. What do I have to do to be the best I can be to be successful at this level without worrying about other stuff that's rattling around in between your ears? And that's what young players have to also overcome. Because, you can say it all to you, blue in the face. No, you're a guy, you'll be fine. You got to go out and do it. And how do you do that? That's mental toughness.
It's interesting, too, that all these young players are getting this opportunity in the middle of a pennant race. Even if the Yankees' playoff positioning is peripheral right now, it's not September baseball where you're facing expanded rosters and maybe you're already out of it. They're getting at-bats and in meaningful spots. Torreyes smokes that to left. Back goes Buzz looking up. It's off the wall. Judge will jog into third. Torreyes just makes it to second. Not a homer, but another allowed hit. A double from Ronald Torreyes.
Nice job here. What a short, quick to the ball. Compact swing. He hit it just right of where that short fence where Brett Gardner made an exceptional play. Nick Buss off the wall, bringing that ball in. Ooh, snuck in there, slide.
So here's Brett Gardner, who may be 0 for 4, but no one will remember that from this game. Just his dazzling catch in left field to rob C.J. Cron of a 2-run homer. And a chance to tack on a couple more runs to this 5-0 Yankee lead. Yankees have been 24th in baseball through the end of July in runs per game, since they're 11th in the league. So essentially from bottom third almost to top third.
Since July 4th.
Since August 1st.
Oh, August 1st.
Gardner won't add to it here. Cron will beat him to the bag, and that'll end the inning. The Yankees 3 outs away from taking this series, and Dellin Betances will try and get them. Anaheim, looking at the Angels in-game box score. It's brought to you by Land Rover, above and beyond. Just 3 hits, they are all singles. Luis Cessa in his first big league start, throwing 6+ innings of shutout ball. Tyler Clippard through the 7th, Tommy Lane worked the 8th, and now Dellin Betances, who hasn't pitched since August 15th, will work the 9th.
5 days off, right? This will be the 5th day. Taking over the closer role, dominating. It was 102 strikeouts, 18 walks, awesome ratio, 57 third inning. An unhittable curveball when he's ahead in the count.
And the Yankees trying to lock down back-to-back shutouts to begin this series. They haven't had back-to-back shutouts against an American League foe since blanking the Red Sox August 8th and 9th of 2009. Pujols says forget the shutout. Way gone. Number 583 for Albert Pujols, tying Mark McGwire on baseball's all-time list.
Ryan just said it. Time Mark McGwire, 10th place in MLB's home run list. 583 home runs. What a great start with Betances. First pitch.
That was destroyed.
Well, here's that pitch. First pitch, generally up, inner half. He knew it. That ball was way out.
First home run Betances has allowed since May 1st. Not sure this one lands.
Beyond that bullpen wall, right about up to it.
And he is now tied with Mark McGwire, who was a teammate of his and then his hitting coach. Albert had said he'd been joking with him, texting about how he was coming for him. Somebody he still remains close to. And now Locked up, 10th all time.
Yeah, Frank Robinson, 3 more. In 9th. Yeah, your timing couldn't have been perfect.
Yeah.
You've rolling off since when? Back-to-back, what?
Yeah, back-to-back shutouts against an AL foe. Hadn't done it since 2009. Still haven't done it since 2009.
I think no sooner you said it, it was like, bam. I know.
It was on cue. Strike 3. Marte down looking.
Well, it's almost unfair. You got Betances, you know, could throw upwards of 98, 99, and then a 3-2 hook. Threw a bunch of them after that first pitch heater to Pujols. Just can't pull the trigger.
Here's Andrelton Simmons. 98 on the corner from Betances.
Not only 98, but on the corner, down and away, black.
Well, he said he hadn't given up on a homer since May 1st. He actually hadn't given up a run at all since July 22nd. Even as he's flirted with trouble over his last few outings, he was always able to get out of it. Most recently, getting a game-ending double play against the Blue Jays. 1-0 win the first game of that series. It's fought off into shallow center. Ellsbury in. 2 out.
First baseman, number 24, C.J. Corrado.
And that'll leave it up to C.J. Cron, who was robbed of a 2-run homer by Brett Gardner in his last at bat.
Put it mildly, huh, Ryan? What a play.
Yeah. A sensational catch that you will see on all highlight shows, maybe as your play of the night.
I think it's already been shown.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Well, it is 12:35 a.m. on the East Coast. Plus, you know there's going to be vines and GIFs and everything of that. You know, the little videos?
No. Gifts.
Yeah, it's like, or GIFs, I don't know how it's GIF.
Oh, yeah, I think
Yeah.
you said a gift.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
gift.
no.
I got it. Yeah.
The gift was to Tyler Clippard.
Right.
Yeah. You're on Twitter
Fine.
now.
I don't
You're
know
on
if
this stuff.
Vine's a video.
Yeah, it's like a little quick video as well. Short.
Yeah, but you're in tune to that.
Yeah.
I'm an old guy.
The millennial generation, although I don't know. I think I'm a
you
little
are
beyond
millennial.
that. Yeah.
I think I'm the end of a millennial.
What?
I'm telling you. No, I'm the start or the end, something like that. You're X or Y or something, right?
Yeah.
G.
Something like that. Dylan Betances delivers a 3-1. That's smashed to left, but right at Gardner, and that'll end it. The Yankees win it 5-1. They take the first 2 games of this series, and they move to within 4 games of the Orioles for that second wild card spot in the American League.